Hey guys, Keep on Rockin' 404 here, and I'm gonna be talking about the Pixies. Pixies were one of the most influential and important alternative rock bands to come out of the late 1980s. In just 4 years, the band released 4 classic staples of the genre: Surfer Rosa, Doolittle, Bossanova, and finally, Trompe le Monde. I'm going to go over the discography of the band, starting with Surfer Rosa. Surfer Rosa is probably the most important Pixies album because it had the most influence on the genre. And that's great, but influential can mean a whole number of things, and it doesn't always mean good. And this is one of those instances where it doesn't exactly mean good. Surfer Rosa isn't good. It's fucking amazing! It is confounding as to how this band managed to write songs that were so fucking weird, yet at the same time so catchy. And yet they did. Make no mistake, Surfer Rosa is rather inaccessible. It's noisy, the guitars are scratchy, and the lyrics are rather out there. But what this album manages to do in just 32 short minutes is grab you by the ear and never let go. The album contains songs as explosive as Gigantic and Bone Machine, as weird as Vamos and I'm Amazed, as entrancing as Where Is My Mind, and as punk as Something Against You. It truly does stand alone as a brilliantly strange record that has held up very well. Now you may think it's impossible to top Surfer Rosa, but not for the Pixies. Because with Doolittle, the Pixies did just that. Doolittle maintains the raw grit and strangeness as Surfer Rosa, but mixes it with infectious pop songwriting. Doolittle is one of those albums that no matter how many times I listen to it, I always get at least one of its songs stuck in my head. It's written much better than Surfer Rosa as well, but that certainly doesn't mean these lyrics aren't weird. The album's opener, Debaser, has some really out there lyrics that I don't really think mean anything, but that doesn't stop me from shouting the amazing chorus along with the song. This album is full of classic songs like Wave of Mutilation, Here Comes Your Man, Monkey Gone to Heaven, Number 13 Baby, Hey, and the closer, Gouge Away. The album is just incredible, as are all 15 of its tracks. Doolittle and Surfer Rosa, the Pixies could have just given up right there and still had a better discography than most of their contemporaries, but they didn't. Instead, they followed up Doolittle with the surf rock-influenced Bossanova, an album that mostly abandons the strangeness of the previous 2 records. And I think that's a good thing, because it's always good for bands to keep evolving, and I don't really think there's many ways to top what they did with both Surfer Rosa and Doolittle. Bossanova immediately sucks you in with an excellent 3 opening tracks. The instrumental Cecilia Ann, the intense screamer rock music, and the excellent Valoria. After these tracks, the album continues to deliver great songs. Bossanova is just another fantastic album by the Pixies. With Trompe le Monde, the band didn't really go for anything uniquely Pixies, and instead just made some straightforward rock music. And it is fucking amazing. By this point, the band got pretty technical, and the instruments are played better than they had ever been before. Every song is just excellent. Bossanova was great, but Trompe le Monde easily tops it. This album contains some excellent rockers like Planet of Sound, The Sad Punk, a great cover of Head On by the Jesus and Mary Chain, Subaculture, and Distance Equals Rate Times 3. It even has some pretty songs like Palace of the Brine, Bird Dream of the Olympus Mons, Motorway to Roswell, and what is possibly my favorite Pixie song, Letter to Memphis. This is just such a consistently great record.
Last night, he could not make it. He tried hard, but he could not make it.
So after 23 years, the Pixies released their 5th album, which is more of a compilation of the EPs that they had been doing since 2013. And honestly, they should have never bothered. Indie Cindy is as bland as an alternative rock album can get. While it starts off strong with the track What Goes Boom, which sounds like it could have fit in perfectly on Trompe le Monde, and Greens and Blues, a rather pretty alternative rock song, the album then just fades into complete mediocrity. Nothing after the 2 tracks I mentioned is memorable. Every song just sounds like it could have been recorded by any radio rock band right now and not have changed a bit. It's such a shame that the Pixies would release such a forgettable album, but that's just what Indie Cindy is. If the Pixies are going to release another album, I'm not even sure I'm excited for it after this. That's just how lackluster this album really is.
Now Andrew Queen has lost her ring. I think it used to sit right here.
So that's the Pixies, a band whose influence is still being heard today, despite never reaching widespread commercial success. It doesn't even matter that Indie Cindy exists, it does not devalue the timelessness of their 4 classic albums. If you haven't listened to the Pixies, do yourself a favor and check them out. You won't be disappointed.